Give to Barrett. Cut back over the middle of the 25 to the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 15. Stops, starts 10-5. Touchdown Lions. Holy mackerel.
Throws, end zone. It is caught. What a play back there in the back of the end zone by T.J. Hawkinson.
You're listening to the One Pridecast. Welcome to another One Pridecast. Team reporter Dannie Rogers joining you here on this lovely Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to all of those who celebrate. Of course, I have the one and only Mike O'Hara joining me today, DetroitLions.com. He's joined me every day on this podcast, actually, every Friday. That's when we film these. Mike, okay, I guess I was going to ask you your favorite holiday tradition, but let's just cut to the chase. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, yes or no?
If Dan Campbell says it's a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie. With those shoulders that are 90 feet wide, I'm not going to argue with Dan Campbell. Okay?
I agree.
I'm afraid he might beat me up if I said no.
Coach Campbell, Mike agrees with you. So please don't beat him up.
I fear you, Coach.
He also yes. He shakes a little bit when he's in that press room, and Dan Campbell's talking.
Hear that? That's me. That's my teeth rattling.
You're iconic, Mike O'Hara. Would you be surprised if I just told you that I watched Christmas Vacation for the first time ever a couple nights ago? I was forced to, although I did enjoy it.
No more than people who I tell them I've never seen The Wizard of Oz all the way through.
Okay, even I think I've seen The Wizard of Oz.
I didn't even know. I watched part of it last year, and I saw the ending. I had no idea. But what are they doing out there making all that noise behind the towel or whatever it was?
I know. It's a very cheesy movie looking back. Very cheesy, but my dad loved it, so we grew up watching it. Okay, that is a fun fact.
So someday I'll have to see the whole thing.
We'll have to do a movie review of the original Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
We'll do it. Book it. Okay. We've got a lot of things to get to as we are heading into Week 16. Atlanta Falcons are on the clock. This team has 6 wins on the season. None are at home, so the Lions are going to attempt to keep that streak alive.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I guess it doesn't. Winning a home game in London, I guess, doesn't qualify
it does
as
not
winning a home game.
Okay, there have been no home games.
That's a neutral
won.
site game.
Yes,
it's
it's
sort of like
Mercedes
playing in a
Benz.
tournament, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're in the NCAA's and they're 1-0.
Yes. So their head coach Arthur Smith at the Falcons acknowledged that they have not won at home on his conference call this week with us.
Well, that's nice of him to acknowledge it since it's on his record. And when you see that 0-5, what's he going to say?
No, actually,
somebody's lying about it. They just gave it to us.
You're right. Okay, so the Lions they're trending on the upwards. Well,
they
were.
Yeah, they are.
They were until we got a little bit of a practice report updates.
Well, that's different. Yeah, but as a team on the field, what's happened on the field in the last 6 weeks would it be? 2 wins, 3 losses, and a
I would say
tie.
after that Browns game, so 12, 13, 14, 15, the last 4 games have really been on the upward trend.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they're playing pretty good ball, and I thought coming out of the bye against the Pittsburgh Steelers, considering they were playing this week's starting quarterback, Tim Boyle. I want to call him
He doesn't
Boyle.
have an O like you do, Mike O'Hara.
Well, he's jealous.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I'm not
He
giving
wants
him
to add
mine.
it. I know, now he wants to add it.
In fact, I told him, Tim, go out and get your own O, okay? And the apostrophe. All right?
Seriously.
We just don't give these away.
I know. Well, you're mentioning Tim Boyle because Jared Goff, QB number 1, tested positive for COVID Monday. He self-reported.
You just washed your hands when you said that, or so. You know.
I have been
Are you
putting hand
infected?
sanitizer on constantly. No, negative test this morning. Thank you very much.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
It's a little habit thing. Quarterback Jared Goff. It is highly unlikely, according to head coach Dan Campbell, that he will play Sunday. He did not clear COVID protocols as of Friday morning. So that means he either did not test negative or he is still symptomatic.
Right. And then there's another one, of course, that they're missing, too, it looks like. And that'd be the cornerback.
Amani Oruwariye. Yeah, I think
a big loss.
I think it's a big loss because surgery is on the table. So it could be on the table. So
the operating table.
Yes, the operating table. So these Lions may have to tread forward without Amani Oruwariye going forward.
You know, they've gone forward without guys all year. You name a position, and there's 3 guys who've been missing. Well, not quarterback because there's only one, but
Amani
this is the second
has been
time
the
for
only
Goff.
one that stayed in.
Yeah. So you know what? I thought he might at least get I thought he might get some mention in the Pro Bowl. He didn't, but I'll tell you, Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, gave him what I thought even a higher compliment than making the Pro Bowl. And somebody asked him what's the next step for him. He said shutdown cornerback.
Shutdown corner.
I like that.
And someone asked, well, what does that mean?
And
Do you know what he said?
Oh, yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he said part of it, you got to work. If you keep working, you can get there. And he also said there's just a few guys. It's really an elite identification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there more to it? Did I miss something?
Well,
I'm using my own words.
Yeah, no. Someone specifically asked, okay, well, what is a shutdown corner? Yeah. And I believe AG, you don't throw to whoever that guy is covering. You just don't. You completely take that receiver out of the game. That's what a shutdown corner does. So that is big.
Yes, it is. If you can do that, then you can double anybody. But
really, that means Amani's interceptions might go down. He has 6 on the season. If no one's actually throwing his way, although he's got eyes. Like, he can track down the ball. But you know what? I'd like to see him still get more interceptions.
I think he really has the size, too, Danny, to be a shutdown cornerback because he's, 6'1.5", something like that. Got long arms and he's got good hands. And I didn't really realize how, what kind of ball skills he had till we saw him a lot this year. And he started making not just overthrow interceptions and all that, but really like the one he made last week against the Arizona Cardinals. That was
Beautiful.
A terrific catch for anybody.
50-yard
really
return.
Wide receivers don't make that routinely.
No. It was great to see. So the roster hits are coming. I mean, Alex Anzalone, linebacker, green dot man. He is now out for the season on IR with a shoulder injury. Who am I? I mean, we've known T.J. Hawkinson has been placed on IR, so we're continuing to go forward without him. DeAndre Swift may not be back Sunday either.
Yeah, and I think when that happens, when you get down to the last 2 games, the last 1 game, do you activate him just to play 2 games, just to play 1 game? I don't know the answer to that. I would activate him for 2 games. Yeah. I don't know about 1 game.
I know. I mean, DeAndre Swift could have gone on IR and come back this week already.
Yeah.
That's how long he's not seen any action. Not since week 12. And he saw very little action. That is when he was injured. So, yeah, that's taken a big hit, DeAndre Swift not being out there. However, you will see Jamal Williams out there. He was practicing. Looks like he's in shape. He was on the COVID-19 list, so obviously getting his feet back under him will be big. So, yeah, it's just once you think the lines are on the trend upwards, and then your quarterback one is out with COVID.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll have Boyle back, and look, Craig Reynolds has played well. The 2 games he's played. When you think about that, first thing I think is, well, where's he been? But they see him in practice, and they've got guys, playing pretty well ahead of him. But boy, I'll tell you, we talk about a guy who got his chance and really showed something and then something. It's not that he just didn't do it once. He backed it up the second time. Got more than 100 yards rushing against the Cardinals.
Undrafted, Craig Reynolds, out of Kutztown University. That's in Pennsylvania for those who do not know. I had not heard of Kutztown until Craig Reynolds. But, yeah, this is actually his 3rd year in the league. He was on the Washington football team squad in 2019.
That was so long ago that they were still the Redskins.
Literally, that's how it is. Yes. They were the Washington Redskins there then. And then Jacksonville Jaguars, he was brought up for 2 games. Looks like he got a little bit of action in that one. And then Detroit Lions, now 2 games, starts 1 game, has a combined 195 yards on the ground between 2 games. Literally, who does that as a 5th-string running back?
Yeah, and one of those was a long run, 37 yards or something like that. But still, you just take that out of there, and he's still averaging, close to 5 yards per carry. So it's not like he's got a yards per carry that's bloated by 1 long run or 2 long runs or something like that.
It's consistent.
He's been able to hit it in there and get yards for you and get tough yards too. And the thing I like about him is that you see him cut back, back against the grain and add to it. And I think they've really got something. Now, is he the next great running back? No, but he's the next guy who's going to, if he stays healthy, is going to play a long time for you, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, Craig Reynolds now 3rd on the team in rushing yards behind Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. Amon-Ra St. Brown now taking over the leader spot in receiving yards. He has 601 on the season. That was previously held by tight end T.J. Hawkinson, who we mentioned is on IR with a hand injury. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, he is starting to get the big calls. His name is starting to get called in the big calls, which the touchdowns. 2 touchdowns this season. First one coming against Minnesota. The second one coming against the Arizona Cardinals. 90 yards last game.
That was really a slick play too. I guess they call that the sneak the sneak route, where he lines up right and then breaks across the formation, cuts right between 2 defenders. He has about a 4 or 5 yard advantage on him. Perfect throw by Jared Goff, touchdown Detroit Lions, and that came like the last 4 or 5 seconds of the first half, gave him a 17-0 lead. Just the play itself stood on its own, but then the timing of it too, where Goff had been hit twice, on pass completions, and added 15 yards for unnecessary roughness. I mean, look, they look like they were using him as a blocking dummy up there. Really did. I don't think those were accidental hits. At least one of them anyway. Looked a little. I'm out to get somebody, and he did. But he stood right in there. He took one play off, and replaced by Boyle, who I guess we can say had a hand in the, because he handed off.
He did one handoff, yes.
He did one handoff. Then he turned it over, got everything in order, got the offense going, straightened everything out, and then Jared Goff came in and took the rest of it. But I thought it was a really good performance by Jared Goff. Probably, in my opinion, the best of the year.
No, and I don't think, I think that's incredibly accurate. I mean, we thought we saw a lot of confidence in Minnesota, and now against Arizona, it was like a dagger after another. He had 21 completions on 26 attempts. First off, that's probably beauty, like, to Dan Campbell's ears.
Well, it's more than 80%,
Yes, more 80% completion rate. But Dan Campbell doesn't want his quarterbacks to throw very much. So 26 attempts. He probably loves that, and how efficient Jared Goff was. He had 216 yards, averaged 8.3 yards a pass, 3 touchdowns. Did he win FedEx Air Player of the Week? Yes, he did, actually, for that performance. So it's his second NFL Honors Weekly Award of the season, because he's just come on. So, the offense does take a big hit with Jared Goff not being in there. Quarterback Tim Boyle will now see the field, and Tim Boyle got his first NFL start against the Cleveland Browns. Jared Goff was dealing with that oblique strain there in Week 11. Taking a look at Tim Boyle's stats from the only game he has ever started in the NFL, he had 15 completions on 23 attempts, 77 yards. Not gonna get it done.
No, you don't puff out your chest when you leave the arena on that one.
You don't. And no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So, granted, yes, it was Tim Boyle's first start in the NFL. He had NFL preseason experience, but no regular season experience.
Really. No, not leading an offense like that. Yeah.
No. Backed up Aaron Rodgers.
One of the things he learned from Aaron Rodgers, though, and he said that after his first start, was the cadence. And Rodgers is great at getting people offside.
I was told that cadences in the NFL, I was told this literally last night, are not that important anymore. What are your thoughts?
Say that again. What's not important?
Cadences. They're not used as much. They're not as important. This is coming from someone in college football. Is this true or not?
I'm going to take a pass on that. I don't know.
Okay.
I need to know more.
Aaron Rodgers is very good at cadence.
Yeah.
I know that.
I think if you've got like 3rd and 8 and you can get it down to 3rd and 3, that's important.
I think it's super important.
If you've got 3rd and 4 and you can get it down to 1st and 10, I think that's important.
Heck yeah.
So you know what? I'm changing my mind right now. I think it's important.
Yes, say it with conviction. Thank you.
In fact, I think everything in pro football is important. Mm-hmm. I do. I don't think there's hardly anything that's not important.
Yep, I agree.
Except maybe the extra point when you're making it 49-0.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe then it's
Yeah, is that necessary?
But you never know. Those 48-point rallies kill you every time.
I know. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see Tim Boyle, Dan Campbell expecting him to go in there, function in the offense. He always wants his backups to give this football team a chance to win, and they want to find a rhythm for him. And that's exactly what he said in Week 11.
And I thought they were really kind of onto that, because I think his first pass, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a rollout to the right, a simple throw, got 6 or 8 yards or something like that. And I thought we'd see more of that, but we really didn't.
No.
Now, they also didn't have the running game going the way they have it now either. I don't think, at least not as consistently. I mean, this has really been something that the Lions can lean on. Mm-hmm. And this is just me, but I make a distinction between having a running back who just chews up yards on his own and having a running game. And I think the Detroit Lions are building a running game, and I think that's important. Whoever they put in there with that offensive line they have, they've got 6, 7, 8 guys in there now who they can cycle through there in different formations and different situations. I think that they're really good, and I think they've built something that's going to be a foundational point for them for seasons to come.
I agree. The run game, what Hank Fraley has been able to do, and Deuce Staley, of course, they have the most similar names.
Staley and Fraley?
Like, what are we doing, guys? And they were NFL teammates, and now both coaching the offensive line and running backs.
And Hank's got sort of something in common with some of these guys because he was an undrafted free agent who made a roster, and next thing you know, he's played in the National Football League for 11 years as a starting offensive lineman. I mean, look, he knows what it's like to be just a guy, and he knows what it's like to be a starter. I think there's some value in that, Danny.
I know.
I
agree. The staff Coach Campbell has assembled, no doubt, is a very, very large part in why they're able to get wins over the Arizona Cardinals. By the way, shout out to the Arizona Cardinals for finally tweeting the final score. We could finally end that game. We can move on to the Atlanta Falcons, but we needed y'all to tweet that final score, and you guys did it in a great way, too.
I think I'm missing something there, but there are things that go over my head anyway.
I know. You're on social media, Mike, but you're not really. I mean, when the game ends, okay, there are score updates throughout the entire game. First quarter, halftime, third quarter. And when the game ends,
they never updated the Lions score?
Arizona never tweeted the final score of the game.
Really?
They didn't want to. So they just didn't. And Twitter world was up in arms. So what is it? 4 or 5 days later, they finally decided to tweet the final score.
So they get stung twice, once on game day and then once 4 or 5 days later. So they got what they deserved.
They've been getting stung the last 4 or 5 days, so they put themselves out of their misery.
Well, I think also they've been getting really hit because of the way they played, too. And they came in here like they're going to walk out there, play 10 or 15 good minutes, catch an early flight home, and that's it. And that's you know what
they thought.
Yeah, that's what they thought. And I think that's a reflection of their head coach, Cliff Kingsbury. I think it's a reflection of the way they've played. Yeah,
I mean, we got a chance to watch Detroit Lions practice Friday. I don't know if we had been missing it. You know, we only have a certain little window to watch practice, but the defensive side of the ball were doing their up-downs again.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing in training camp when it looked like they were having a lot of fun, where they were building camaraderie and trying to get to know each other better. I like seeing that today.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. You know, look, when you're around, you cover a lot of teams, and I've been covering the Lions an awful lot of ways, and you can see teams that are like 7-3, and they look like they're not having fun, and you can see, and they're really not into it. I've seen that before, and you can see teams that are like the Detroit Lions now with 2 wins and 3 games to go, but they look like they're building something, and to me, there seems to be an energy that's passed from the top to the bottom, and really, if you're going to be successful in a National Football League, look, this is a grind. There are guys out there right now who are going to go, when the practice is over, they're going to sit down and go, God, I'm sore. But they're still into it, and I think that's a good thing that we've seen in this team. I really do. I think it's something. It starts to me with the coaching staff. It starts with the general manager, Brad Holmes, and I think it's something that's filtered down through this organization. Really,
yeah.
I think there's been a culture change throughout this entire building.
I agree, and I don't think there's been a whole lot of where this team felt that they were down. It wasn't. You didn't see it on the players' faces. You never saw it on Coach Campbell's face.
No.
Granted, is Coach Campbell going to come into our Tuesday interview every week and have a big old smile on his face? No, but he's very even keeled, and he can bring it up a couple notches when he needs to, and bring it down a couple notches when he needs to.
I don't think there's any doubt that players like playing for him.
No doubt.
I like that after the game. Against the Cardinals, we have that locker room celebration.
Welcome to Detroit.
Where did that come from?
Oh God, it was beautiful.
Something like I said, it was something like I wish I'd have written.
I know.
Not that I would find. I don't know where I would put it in, but that's just something I thought. God, I wish I'd have thought of that.
Welcome to Detroit.
Welcome to Detroit.
Arizona Cardinals. Okay.
Now you know what it looks like.
I know. Yeah. Now this is what it looks like. So now Lions are going to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Fun fact: the last touchdown of Dan Campbell's NFL career came against Chicago on Christmas Eve 15 years ago. That has nothing to do with Atlanta. That just has everything to do with Christmas Eve.
I get that the Chicago-Atlanta connection is not there. I get
Correct.
that. I know all the states and
bad
the cities.
Transition
I really
for me.
do.
Yeah, no, my bad. But that's a fun fact.
Are you taking me for a dumbbell?
No.
Thank you for the geography lesson.
You're welcome. Just fun fact, fam. Dan Campbell's last career touchdown 15 years ago, 2006.
Yeah, I covered that game, by the way.
Well, yeah, you were working. Dan Campbell's playing for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they were 3-13. I remember the only thing I remember about him that he was really, really tough. And he was big. Those shoulders, my God.
I mean, did you see this picture? That was I'm not even sure who's jumping on him, but that looks like a small man, a small teammate.
It's probably just some
jumping on
guy who
Dan
was
Campbell.
probably some little guy who was 6'4", 290.
You're right, a large man
yeah.
jumping on Dan Campbell, and he looks small doing it.
Right, he looks like a loose thread on his coat.
Yeah, and that's probably a receiver, running back. But if you would like to see this picture, go on to Detroit Lions PR Twitter, and it's a great throwback picture. Okay, the Atlanta Falcons.
Which I have a throwback that's a lot less fun.
Oh God, we will show the people that as well. Just stay tuned.
I'm just be forewarned.
I know. Please, yeah.
Be
Everyone
three-warned.
run. Just run from Mike O'Hara's throwback picture. Okay, Atlanta. Let's tell the people what they're getting. They're going to get quarterback Matt Ryan, who has been in this league for a minute.
14 years.
14.
He's missed one game, and they deliberately kept him out of that game to start somebody else. They thought they
Wow.
were building for the future.
Yeah.
I mean,
how
he's
did
as
that work?
steady as they come. He really
Yes.
is.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's dive into this offense. I will say that Atlanta, their highest ranking in on offense is their passing offense. Of course, you've
should
got
be.
the veteran Matt Ryan there slinging it. When you take a look at Detroit's passing offense, they are 25th in the league. So a little bit of discrepancy. However, the pass game for the Lions have been on the uptick. There is no doubt about it. Third down offense percentage. Actually, they're even ranked higher, Atlanta. They're 14th in the league in third down offensive percentage. 41% of the time they're converting on third down. That's a lot. The Lions are only converting on third down 33% of the time.
Yeah.
And the Lions know they need to stay on the field.
Yeah.
So they got to get that number
Yeah,
up.
Dan Campbell was talking about play calling earlier this week, and he said it's a lot easier when you convert on third down. It opens up the entire menu.
Yes, the entire thing. You can do whatever you want once you stay on the field and open it up. Red zone efficiency, I mean, Atlanta and Detroit are pretty much the same, converting just around 50% of the time. So you're going to see two teams who aren't great in the red zone. They're actually not great at all.
No, we're not going to see greatness itself
No.
this weekend, I don't think, unless it's individually or somebody comes up with a big game. But
Stay
look,
tuned.
but Arthur Smith, the head coach of the Falcons, in one of his interviews since that loss last week, really bemoaned the fact that they were 1 for 5 in the red zone last week and just got absolutely thrashed,
Yeah.
just torn up.
Crunch time
Oh,
points.
yeah.
Got to get those. This is really this is more intriguing. This Detroit Lions offense is going to have a chance to poke some holes in this Atlanta Falcons defense. I mean, Atlanta is ranked 31st in points per game, so they're allowing 27 points a game. Lions are averaging about 17 a game. So, yes, they need to get that up. We saw that against the Arizona Cardinals, scoring about 30. Red zone efficiency, Atlanta Falcons on defense, 31st in the league. They're allowing opponents to convert almost 70% of the time.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just read that stat. 70%. So there are a lot of holes that this offense can poke when there's a good chance that Tim Boyle is going to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I really don't know what to expect from Tim Boyle. I think, look, he's put a lot, and just asking him, he's put a lot of stock into having played that one game. He said, we learned something. Every single snap he played is in his head, all 48 of them, plus the one, last week just handing off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, I think experience gives you something. I don't know if playing one game is going to elevate him to any particular
It's got to
level.
help, though.
But it's right. It really does, because you really get a feel for the rhythm of the game and just little things that, left hash, right hash, stuff like that, that if you don't play, you don't experience that stuff. Because, look, all that little stuff, those little nuances of the game, they add up. They really do, Danny. And you've seen that. It's no big, I'm not unlocking any mystery here.
Nope.
Experience is a great teacher, and it really is. It's a great guide for you, too.
Wow. Yeah. So we're going to see. It's looking like Tim Boyle. Would Coach Campbell confirm if it was Blau or Boyle? No. But it's looking like it's going to be
Well,
Tim
what
Boyle.
did he say? It's Tim Blau and
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Like, really, Coach? Don't trip us up
I
like
think he
that.
did that on purpose, yeah.
He did. I caught it on the second time I re-listened to it.
Yeah.
I did not catch it the first time.
I did, yeah.
Okay, I did not. But it was funny. He mixes up names on purpose and then does not tell us who will go in and start. I will tell you, though, that Lions Twitter wants to see David Blau, even though Tim Boyle has had a full game under his belt. It's a very interesting dynamic. Lions Twitter.
Maybe I should bless myself before I say this, but I'd like to see Blau too. I just think he has,
Interesting.
from what I've seen, the 5 starts he made 2 years ago,
lot
he
of
really has a
experience.
feel for the game. He really does. Now, he was 0 for 5 as a starter. He had some big interceptions, but he also had some big plays too. So if I were just, look, I think the Lions want to see more of Boyle because they think he might be, their backup quarterback of the future. I don't think they have the same feeling for Blau. Obviously, they don't, or he'd be playing.
Yeah.
But I just think if I had one game to play and I had to choose between the two, and this is because I've seen more of Blau than they have. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I know more. I'm just saying I've seen.
No, you
them.
have. Yeah.
But I would take David Blau to play one game for me, choosing between the two of them. But maybe Boyle has a brighter future. He's bigger. He's more physical and all that. But I like Blau. I just like what he brings.
Yeah.
I really do.
Honestly, you say he's bigger. There might be a 6-inch height difference.
Easily, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, easily, yeah.
Which can.
And his wife's an Olympic sprinter.
Oh, like we know the Blau family is very, very athletic.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of wraps it up here. Giving you the ins and outs, Lions are trying to go into this game without their QB number 1. They won't have possibly their best lockdown corner. We can't call him shutdown, but can he lock it? He can lock it. We'll call him lockdown corner.
Lockdown now.
Not shutdown yet, because AG
Someday,
will come for me.
Yep, someday.
Yes. So potentially without Amani Oruwariye, we don't know if we'll have DeAndre Swift back. So there are some holes.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Swift is back, just only because we've been talking about this before and he hasn't been back. And
He
so
hasn't been
until
back.
he is, he isn't.
He's been dressed for practice. It looks
Yeah.
like it looks like he could practice.
Right.
The extent that he's practicing, probably we'll see. We'll
I'll
see.
give that an eh.
Yeah, no.
I'd like to see him play though. He's a terrific player.
Oh my gosh,
Dy-
I'm sure nothing
He's
is.
dynamic. Yeah.
I'm sure nothing's eaten at him more than seeing, running backs kind of come up the ladder and crush it. So, DeAndre Swift, being a competitor that he is, I know, I'm sure wants to get in that game. Okay, Mike, it's the time that everyone's been waiting for. What is your BetMGM pick? Don't disappoint me.
My BetMGM pick. I live to not disappoint
I know.
you. That's why
Should
I'm
be
on
your
this
goal.
planet. Look, I'm going to go back just to the opening day of 2008, and that was Matt Ryan's first game. NFL player, and the 2008 has a certain ring to it, doesn't it? The 0-16.
It's a little, and I was only 12, but sounds traumatizing to me.
Well, I was at least 13 then.
Okay.
And so Matt Ryan was his first start, and he completed on the third pass he threw as a pro, 62-yard touchdown pass.
Boom.
He went 9 for 13 that game, and
Wow.
they ran the ball for 300 plus yards.
I was going to
and
say
won.
9 for 13. What else
Oh,
did
yeah.
they do?
And they just absolutely thrashed the Detroit Lions. The Lions went on to
Nice.
become 0-16, and the Falcons had a pretty good team. But I look at the 2021 team, and I see that I look at their stats and what they've done. I don't know how they're 6-8. They look worse than the Lions.
They are pulling out very, very crunch time wins that
Yeah.
the Lions have not been able to.
Not
They're
to that-
mirroring each
yeah.
other in opposite ways.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a second present for the Detroit Lions. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions 23-20.
This might be the only time that you pick the Lions that I think the Lions might help you out here, Mike. The only time.
Wow, that is really a relief. It really is.
Yeah, because or else you're gonna have to listen to me the next time, and I'm gonna have to yell you.
I feel the same. I feel now when you're saying that, like when I find out that the Christmas present fits.
Exactly. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Right? Okay.
Thank
All
God.
right. Yeah,
I
Mike's
got
got to
it
get
right.
out of here. If you want to see all of Mike's content, go to DetroitLions.com. It is phenomenal content. I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks for tuning into the One Pridecast. Stay tuned. You'll get to hear from offensive lineman Penei Sewell. He's going to tell you some interesting things about this season and how he thinks he hasn't done much. Do you think he's done?
I think he's done a lot.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Mike. So, Penei, you'll hear it from him himself. That's coming up next on the One Pridecast. Show your Lions pride by going authentic with gear from shop.detroitlions.com. For a great selection of t-shirts, hats, jerseys, and novelties with convenient flat rate shipping right to your doorstep, visit shop.detroitlions.com, your 24/7 home for Lions gear. Penei, the ups and downs of this season, there's been some, but you said you're still living the dream. Why do you say that?
I think mainly because of this locker room, to be honest. it's kind of similar to what I had at Oregon with the tight brotherhood that we kind of created there. And it just makes it so much better to come in each and every day knowing that these are the guys next to me and these are the guys I'm doing it for. And then getting to know them too, like outside of this building, whether it's game night, Bible study, whatever it is, just kind of knowing them and their backgrounds, and that's the reason why. Just because it's locker room, makes it enjoyable to come in each and every day.
I know one of the things that was really important to you is building the trust of your teammates, keeping your quarterback clean back there. So what is the biggest challenge of earning trust as a rookie?
Try to not do too much, really. If I would sum it all up, it would just be those things. At times, I would try to want to do more and try to, I guess, make a play even though I don't need to, and it would probably hurt the team even more. So just kind of finding my little gray area of what I can contribute to this team and then go from that. Like, just don't go out there trying to collect everything all at once. So just kind of take care of what's on my plate for now and then keep building upon that as time goes.
We can't really mention the Sewell last name without mentioning the family, the athletic brothers, the athletic sister, your dad, your mom, who's also supportive. They travel so incredibly well. So how much does the motivation of having your family influence you also calling this the dream that you're living right now?
Oh, it's a lot. Almost all of the motivation just comes from them. Especially when they come to home games or whatever games that they can make it to. Just kind of seeing them in that stance, I feel them out there. And it just creates that extra fire for me to go crazy for mom and dad, just watching their son out there in the league and just performing at a high level. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's still kind of crazy. Can't wait to see little bro and now big bro, he just declared, come and do his thing and just let mom and dad watch the show.
You're not the oldest brother. You're actually third in line. So how much does it mean to you that you have little brother and your older brothers looking up to you as well?
It's a little different with the big bro side of things because I still look up to him. Like if he didn't know that or if anyone knew that. But yeah, just kind of set an example for little bro and also just trying to pave the way for whoever's next. And in this case, is big bro. And yeah.
The oldest bro, Gabe, will be here in Detroit helping out with the Nevada coaching staff who's playing in the Quick Lane Bowl. How special is it to have your brother now come here to your city while he's doing his thing in football?
Oh, man, just to see him kind of get into his own thing is just none but just proud and just kind of happiness towards his way. Just because he was the first one to kind of go through the high school recruiting process, and then after that, the collegiate level, and then even the process. And so just watching him grow up and do all those things before me, it just made my life so much easier. And so to see him flourish and to see him doing what he's doing now, man, it's just all love. And I thank God that he's in the position that he can take care of his family and then go on from there.
And not only are you playing well for a rookie, week 14, you were graded the highest tackle in the league across all 32 teams. So at 21 years old, what have you accomplished that's so far sticking out the most to you?
To be honest, I don't feel like I really done anything yet, to be honest. Appreciate whoever does all that system and give me that praise. But I feel like this year, mostly, especially sitting out from that last year, being opted out, it's just kind of getting my feet wet. Just kind of going out there and still dusting the rust off from all that time off. So really, it's just more out there that I can do and more out there that I can go get. So.
Well, you've got a couple more games to go out there and get it. You guys can win 3 of your last 4 games, and it can come against the Atlanta Falcons at their place, where they have not won yet this season. So what do these Lions need to hone in on to get a dub on the road?
Just big energy. That's all that we can control at the end of the day, and everything else will unfold the way it does. So we just got to go out there with the same mentality each and every week and just go put on a show and just always have the energy and never be down, never be too down or too high. So.
Create a fun, unique, and unforgettable outing for a group of 10 or more at the next Lions home game. Visit DetroitLions.com/groups to purchase or contact us directly at 313-243-0033.
888-262-2222 to save on ticket prices, get priority locations, and receive a group giveaway item.
Thanks so much for tuning into the One Pridecast. I'm Dannie Rogers. We'll see you back here next week. Merry Christmas!